Hi, this is EMcGEE. So today starts our summer outdoor painting session, and it's so fun because we're going to be traveling all over doing painting this summer. So right now we are in Crescent Hill, Louisville, Kentucky. And as you can see, there's trucks behind me. This is a residential neighborhood. I'm trying to get it to where I'm not in the shadow because it's super hot. But we're full of this old Victorian houses along this street, as you can see. And we're learning about invisible points today, vanishing points, where I've got my easel here, but where we can look up the street and we can see as we go up the street, especially toward the end, you see cars growing smaller and they're angled. We see trees and the electrical poles getting smaller, and we see everything, it vanishes up to a point. It's all about perspective. So before we start, I also want to show you some fun things about outdoor painting, plein air painting. I have this great easel, and a lot of people have different plein air painting easels. The reason why, here I'll scoot this way so we can look in here and I won't be in the shade. But the reason why this is a plein air painting easel is because the whole thing can collapse really small. So if you look, it's kind of like a tripod, sort of like a photography tripod, but you can lower it so it's like this. And then again, so you can either sit with it, you can stand with it, you can adjust the legs in case you're on an uneven surface. And so because I'm going uphill, I'll show you what I'm going to do with this. I am going to have my easel uphill like this. And then I can always adjust the tilt of it. When you're using watercolor paint, you don't want it straight up and down. Oh my gosh, there's going to be a lawnmower guy. I hope you can hear me. We're going to see how this works. This is like the beauty about painting in an urban setting. Oh my gosh. Okay, so hopefully you're going to be able to hear me. Let's see how this goes. So anyway, so if I want to go like this and have it more angled for a watercolor, I can just tilt it all the way down so my paintings don't drip. Usually for an oil paint, we want to have it up like that. It's just kind of different kind of paints do different things. Okay, so now I'm going to show you a little bit about different fun sort of watercolor kits we have for outdoor painting. You don't need these at all. There's just all this cool gear just in case, in case you've got a birthday coming up or whatever, and this is a great kind of thing to have. So this is fun. This is my favorite. It's by Winsor & Newton, and it's an outdoor painting kit. So basically, it travels with you. So watch this. Okay, you open it up, right? Like it's like open it up like a book, and the first thing you can do is take out this inside part. This inside part is actually where you keep water for your watercolor paints. And look at this. This part comes off like a little cup. This part comes off like a little cup. And here you go. It's your little thermos of water. The reason we have these little attachable cups is then I can go like this, and I can put my water cups like here into the sides, put some water in it for my little thermos, and be able to paint and have these water cups. It's fun. It comes with a little brush that tucks down in here. These are cakes of watercolors. The beauty about traveling with watercolor is that the cakes will dry, and then when you want to activate the colors, you just put a little bit of water on them. The colors are activated. They last forever. Again, watercolor is the #1 sort of outdoor travel around painting medium. The other thing that I love about this is it's got one mixing tray like this, and then it's got a mixing tray here and a mixing tray here. So I have plenty of space to mix my colors. So that's kind of cool. Okay, so that aside, now that you've seen all these cool, okay, one more thing I have to show you. Here's a second cool kit. This is a smaller one. It's got 1 cup for pouring your water. Again, this whole thing is like a, you can fill this up with water. It's like a little thermos here. Look at this cute little paintbrush. That's super cute, huh? So this paintbrush, again, connects in here. And trying to get this the right way, something like that. Okay. And then here's a little sponge, because we'll talk about sponges later. And then look how cute this is. You can mix colors on this side. You can open this up. You have your paints, and now you can mix colors on all 3 sides. And then here's your water. Again, you pour your water in this part, and you have your little cup and paint mixings. So super cool. If you ever want to go outside and go hiking, go to the beach, you're traveling on an airplane, on car trips, if I'm not driving, I'll bring something like this and I can do paintings in the car. Love it. Those are both by Winsor & Newton. The other thing I want to show you is paper. Paper is super important when you're painting, because the outcome of your artwork is really dependent on how good your paper is too. So this is called a watercolor block. And the reason it's called a watercolor block is because it's basically glued around the edges of it. And the reason it's glued is because, you know, when sometimes you put water on your paper, it'll get all ripply and stuff. So this is great because you do your painting and then you let the whole painting dry, and then you can take like a little butter knife or palette knife and you just kind of rip off the top sheet. It comes off. And your painting is perfectly flat. It hasn't rippled or bubbled. And so the fun thing is it comes in all different sizes. Again, it's called a watercolor. It's like a watercolor block. This is like 9 by 12, but these are little cute tiny ones, and it's the same thing, little watercolors. And so think about how cool this is. You can take your little watercolor block, your little watercolor thing. It's this big and you can travel anywhere. I love it. Okay, so let's get started on our lesson on perspective. So again, what I want to talk to you is about the vanishing point. And to just give this, before we start on our picture, to kind of give you a quick overview, you basically, this is just a scrap piece of paper, but so here is, say like here's my picture, right? Oh, I wish I had a thicker marker. Sorry about this here. Okay, we're going to deal with what we can hand. So let me get here. I think you can see this better. Maybe not. Okay, I'm going to try it. So if this is my piece of paper, and say like this is the top of my street, okay, I'm going to put a dot somewhere. It doesn't even really matter where the dot is, okay? It could be in the middle, it could be over here, it could be over here. This is my vanishing point. That means that, say like this is a house at the bottom of the street, and maybe this is another house at the bottom of the street. And so here is, maybe this is the sidewalk, here's another sidewalk, and this is the street itself. Now watch, if this is my street itself, I'm going to go like this, and all of my lines are going to head to this vanishing point. So that's my primary street. Here's my little strip of green grass between the sidewalk and the street. Here's, maybe that's my sidewalk, right? See how they're all going toward this line, and it looks like it's moving far away. Now watch this. Here's one side of my house. Now watch this. So what I'm going to do is, say like I have a bunch of houses on this side and a bunch of houses on this side. What happens is, if I kind of connect them all to this vanishing point, you're going to see how the angles change. Okay, and that's important to know, because as you move up the street, the houses angles change too. So here's another thing. Here's going to be my cars, And so here's the top of my car. See, they kind of the same thing. The cars get smaller as they go up the street. And see, they kind of follow this same sort of angle to this dot right there. Okay, now let's pretend like every house on the street, here I'm going to put some roofs on it too. Okay. Okay, let's pretend like every house on the street had a trampoline in the backyard. Okay. Okay, so here's a trampoline here, here's a trampoline here, or let's say swimming pools, not trampolines. Let's use swimming pools. Okay, so here, now watch. Again, I'm going to take this vanishing point and go like this, and here's all my, I'm going to try, this goes here. So you can kind of see what the angles of the swimming pools in the backyard. So this is what we're learning today. Okay, now let's go ahead and do a painting. This is the fun part. And this is kind of how, I'm going to give you this basic tenets of plein air painting. So again, I have my sketchbook, right? And some people like to keep it like this. Some people like to put blue tape around it. Okay, so what I want to talk about is, again, I'll take this, or actually I'm going to use a smaller one in this case because it's just super cute. And so you can take some tape, and if you go around the edges of it like this, what it does is it creates a natural border. And so then after the whole painting is done, you're going to have almost like this bright white frame. So look, I'm going to tape each end like this. And you can use there's all different kinds of whisk tape. Like you can actually get super skinny narrow tape like this. So I'm going to go around all the edges. It's easier for me to do this and then show you. I'm sitting on this. Okay. Okay, now when you want to do watercolor, you don't want to use a pen on it. You always want to use pencils. So we're going to do exactly what we just talked about on the sketch pad, but now I'm going to use a pencil. And that's going to be, this is going to be like this. So turning vertically, because again, we're doing a street. And again, when I'm painting, I could use my easel, which is all set up. Because I'm using this super cute piece of paper, I'm just going to use this and stand up with it. Let's tilt toward the street so you can see what I'm doing. And again, even though you're anywhere in the world right now, you're in Kentucky, which is super cool. Okay, so here we go. I've got my, this is going to be the top of my street right here. And at the top of my street, I actually have some cool train tracks. So I'm guessing there's a lot of trains in Kentucky, which is super cool. So the train tracks parallel the street up here. So I'm just going to go like that. Here's my train tracks, okay? Now, my vanishing point, again, it doesn't have to be right in the middle. It can be like over here on the side. So I'm going to make my vanishing point a little over there just because I want to. Okay, so here is my street view. It's going to be here to here. And once again, I'm going to have like this. Everything is going to go to the vanishing point. So here's my street. Okay, now on each side of the street, there's this little grassy area. So I'm going to have this little grassy area go up to that vanishing point. And then I have the sidewalk, and the sidewalk is going to go up here to this vanishing point. Okay, now I'm going to do my houses. So for the houses, sometimes it's easiest to draw just a regular square at the bottom, like this. And I'm going to kind of make a sense of where I want my houses to be. Here's the house, Here's a house. They're going to get a little bit, the lines are going to get a little bit closer together the further I go up the street. So they're just kind of like this, but again, when I connect them with the vanishing point, you can kind of get that sense of where the angle of them right there. So here would be my, here's kind of my roof. Let's see here. Again, kind of going up here. So we're gonna, anyway, we got the houses going on. Then I'm gonna do some trees. And again, the trees are gonna get smaller as they go up. Here's some trees. And again, I'm all doing it based on this vanishing point line. Like that. And then we talked about swimming pools, so we're gonna do that too, just because it's fun and it's a hot day. So we're gonna think about swimming pools. And again, from that vanishing point line, we can now figure out what the angles of our swimming pools would be. So here is my straight end. So cars, we talk about cars going parked on the, see there's all these cars parked on the side of the road going up. So here's some cars. Okay, so I did kind of a car thing right here. And again, you can tell based on this point right there that everything's going to go up there. So see, it looks like the street is going up to the railroad tracks and it's perspective. Now let's paint this. Now the reason we have watercolor paints, which is so cool, is that we just wet it down with a sponge and we get it all wet and then we paint it with the colors. You guys, I know you can do this. We've done watercolors before, and so this is your job. I want you to show me what it looked like after you painted it, put it on our art gallery. I'm gonna post what I did, and I'm so excited that you were able to join me from Louisville, Kentucky today. Again, we're studying perspective, perspective of houses going up a hill, up a street. You can do this with anything. You can, one more quick tip, which is super cool. Say like you wanted to do a hallway in a school, right? Watch this. So here's your piece of paper, right? Say like, here's your vanishing point right in the middle of that square. Watch what I'm gonna do. If I go like this, right? I'm gonna put a big rectangle right here and a big rectangle right here, right? These feel like these are my lockers going down the hall. Say like here's a window at the end of the hallway, right? Now watch. All I have to do is go like this, and here's my lockers going down the hall. Like here's my little lockers for the school. Maybe there's lines. Okay, and then watch this. It's so cool. If I want to make a tiled floor, so I kind of do tiles like this, then all I do is connect that vanishing point to some tiles, you know, and you can kind of go every other one, make black and white tiles. It's all about perspective. And then say like I want some lights up here, you know, like sometimes schools have those silly lights. See, now it looks like lights going down a hall. Anyway, so all about perspective and vanishing points. Thank you so much for class, and I'll see you next week. One more class in Kentucky. We're learning about bridges. Okay, bye.